I think that's the thing that people now, everyone wants an instant fix, right?
Yeah.
Everyone wants something instant, and they look at, like you said, they look at you or they look at me or they look at these influencers and they see the lives that these guys have. And they're like, I want that. How do I get that? Well, you get it from struggling and fucking going through hardship for 10, 15, 20 years. And when you've done that, you can then start to reap the fruit and reap the rewards and be that guy and have the traits that are built over time, you know?
100%. And still, that's not, at the end of that's still not guaranteed.
No, of course.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, when I look today and when people are complaining, I want this life, I want that. I understand now as a person that I don't understand. Before I used to understand how they think like this. You know, like, am I missing something here? You know, and now I don't look for that answer. I don't need to look for that answer. That's something that I could never change. They are just that. These are the people who want all these lovely things, but still complain about life every day. Mm-hmm. Or complain why they haven't got these things. And we all know why they haven't got these things is because, again, the dedication and hard work. And sometimes the hardest person working man in the room is not always the smartest. I've learned that as I grow up as well. Mm-hmm. And that's only due to experience. But you can't cheat your way. It's as simple as that. When it comes to life, you can't build your real intuition by pretending to be something. You need to build that yourself. So when it comes to making real life decisions, you can make good decisions then because you've been through these stages in your life.
And I think for me, what's helped me in my life, and maybe you and yourself as well, is the right influences. You keep talking about being the right influence, but having the right mentor or the right person or the right coach. I was unbelievably fortunate. The gym that I walked into had the coaches that it had and the people that it had. And a guy called Nigel used to always say to me, I look forward to the day when you become a well-rounded individual. Because right now you're not well-rounded. You're on the way, you know. And he would help me. He believed in me and he helped me. I lived in his gym. He fed me. He did a million things for me. So it's like, but he could see what I think being a good mentor is understanding that you can see the person where they are, but you can see what they could become, the potential that they have. Yeah. And I think finding that mentor, for me, like I said, it was Nigel, there was a guy called Jack, a guy called John. There's been many. Now I've got others. It's like finding that is the most important thing. And the best way to find that is to search for people that live the life that you want to live. You know, that are living that reality, that authentic, who are authentic, that are living the dream that you want to live. Like if you want to be a fantastic boxer, you get coached by a guy who knows how to coach fantastic boxers. Yeah. Otherwise, what's the point? Yeah. You know, there's that phrase that says, if you want to learn how to punch, if Mike Tyson teaches you how to punch, you're going to learn how to punch.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So, but you want to look at in all assets of life. People that, you know, if you want marriage advice, if you need people that got good marriages, it just, you want to gravitate towards those people. You're
speaking to people who have exactly that experience, and this is why again you're doing the podcast to build for you to other sports or that you haven't had a chance to dig into, to give you that information. And like you said, it's when it comes to a topic, then you understand exactly a little bit more on that conversation.
For me, I'm doing this. I had another guest on last week, and it's like he said it perfectly. I move through life picking up information. Yeah, everything. Every person has, every conversation I have, you said about value exchange, energy. For me, I only want to deal with people that are going to add to my life. Yeah. So every conversation I have in my life, doesn't matter who it's with, is adding to my life. Otherwise, I don't bother having that conversation, right? So that I'm walking through life and people are adding ideas, things, thoughts, experiences, and I'm just storing the ones that I believe are useful to me. Yeah. And the ones that I believe are not useful just get thrown away. Of course. So I'm just moving through and I'm just collecting treasure. And this treasure is these experiences and these opinions and these things that people do to try and improve and enrich their lives. And by doing the podcast, I get to do that again with you and your story and the what you've been through and everything that you've gone through to now be who you are. I will learn from that lesson and I'll pick little things and I'll put it there and I can then enrich my life with it moving forwards. You know, if you can, again, my upbringing was fantastic. I had beautiful parents, everything else. If you can go through those hardships and those troubles, it just shows the character of the man that you have. And what I always say with these guys who are out there who want to achieve things you're achieving, things I've achieved and other people, they look at the thing. You know, they look at the world champion. I want to be a world champion. Cool. But the only way you could possibly become a world champion is if you go down this path of self-discovery and investing in yourself to build yourself 100%. Into the man that is capable of becoming that world champion. So rather than worrying about being a world champion, why don't you worry about turning up at the gym every single day and training 4 days a week? If you start with the basic and you build the four times a day training every day of the week, then maybe you'll become a world champion. But if you just think about being a world champion, if you think about the destination, you're never going to get there because you're not taking the steps.
You also understand that something's going to knock you off there.
Yeah.
So you haven't built resistance yet. To build resistance, like you said, you need to do those 5 things first. Before you even think about being a world champion. Like, and again, I think that's just something that maybe I think me and you, even though you found resistance in your training and the environments that you put yourself in the fight world, and I've had that for my life and in the fight world. So for me, I've got shown resistance all the time, and I didn't break. You know, I just got stronger and stronger. So that band I feel right now is unbreakable. And I'm not lying to you. Over the time, these last 3 years, I used to think, how did my mental health stay together? And I look back and I'm thinking, I always self-check first. If I'm in a situation, I look at me before I blame others. Or if I didn't at the time, I'll go home and do that. Do you know what I mean? So, and I look back and I'm thinking, how did my mental health stay intact? How am I thought negatively? Why am I always thinking positive all the time? And I'm not kidding you, right? It worries me sometimes because I'm thinking, like, I don't. I'm always so positive. It's not a day. If I've had a shit day, I'll find something positive in that day to make it a fucking great day. And I don't get why I'm like that. I can't blame my past. I can't blame the people around me. Because even before I started boxing, even when I was in that good foster home, I was still happy. Even when I was going through the shit as a kid, I still went to school happy. It was mad. And I just thinking, I'm going to have a shit day today, but I'm going to go to school happy. I went to school fucking happy. I'm going to have a fight today, you know. But I don't know. I just feel like I'm just continuously feel like I'm blessed that my mental health has stayed intact.
I think a good way to process anything is utilizing your body.
No, I'm just going to go like from drugs and alcohol, no parents, to going to all these hostels and homes, the abuse, the things that I saw, then trying to build a new family with a million different families. And then, you know, my foster dad passing away. And then my boxing coach, and then he passed away, you know, and then qualifying for the Olympic Games, nearly qualifying for 2012 Olympics, and then having a motorcycle accident, then having a divorce. And I'm still here. You know, I just think, you know, I also accept this is not where I wanted to be in my career. Because people see me such as an artist in the boxing world. They see me, the skills I can produce day in and day out. It's not luck. It's something that I've taken me 20 years to do. Like, why didn't you turn pro? I've accepted that. And that was hard because I knew I could have been a world champion with gloves on, and that's where I wanted to be. The main goal first before that, I wanted to be an Olympic champion. But I proved myself I could do the 5 steps, like you said. Turn to the gym, to be consistent, you know, champion mentality. First, before even being a champion. You know, it's easy to be a champion, but are you the things before that?